another episode of Mohamed Talks with entrepreneurs, millionaires, billionaires, quadrillionaires, public speakers, motivational speakers, and more. Today, we have Miss Migena, and we're just going to have an amazing episode where we're going to talk about someone's inner thoughts, well, one's inner thoughts, mine, yours, everyone's, and how they affect us by becoming our daily actions. So, Miss Migena, am I pronouncing your name correctly, first of all?
It's Migena.
I'm super sorry. Miss Migena, I hope you're having an amazing day. So please introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, thank you, Mohamed, for having me. It's such an honor and pleasure. My name is Migena Agaraj, born and raised in Albania, and I live in New York City for the past 19 years. And super excited for this thought-provoking episode, our inner thoughts. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to have great minds from across the world from here. And, my salutations from people from Albania. So, I hope you're having an amazing day. And today is just an intriguing subject because most of the time people think that, what can a simple thought affect? What can it do and how can it affect me? But the thing is, one of my favorite quotes is that a thought is only a glimpse into the future, right? When you're thinking about something, you're just taking a quick look into the future, because if you apply it, that will be the future. So what do you think on one's inner thoughts? How would we control them? And what's your idea on the way people think?
Wow, what an amazing question. There is no perfect answer. In my opinion, the answer will vary sometimes based on the day, depends on what we're going through in a specific day or in a specific week or in a specific month. But one specific thought can be the reason for a life-changing event. Someone working for someone, and then all it takes is for that same person to have a positive inner thought that he can be anybody he or she wants to be, and automatically, like you said, Mohamed, you start working towards the future based on that one single inner thought. So it's very, very powerful voice, and sometimes we don't listen to it. Sometimes we listen to it, but we don't understand it, and then many times we ignore it. So we are the creator of the thought. Therefore, we could become the creator to make that thought a reality, either thinking about writing a book, and then as like magic, the book appears, and then you question your abilities. Wow, did I really write that book? And I feel that one has to exercise that part of the brain where not only have all these inner thoughts, but separate them in different categories, prioritize them, and take action. Because we can think all day and night, but if we don't take action, we are not only staying in the same place, but we are actually moving backwards, because the world is evolving by the second. I hope I answered.
That's just a mind-blowing idea. And to be honest, what you said is true, because a single thought can be crucial to one's life. It could determine which way you go in life. So inner thoughts are really an important thing, because most people, as we know, especially in the 21st century, unfortunately, in my century, most people's inner thoughts lead them to death, like suicide. And, it's just like most of the time people really suffer from their inner thoughts. So what they go to is they just go to things that they find soothing. But here's the thing, have you actually tried to talk to yourself? Have you actually tried to figure out what was really going on? So today is just a subject, and you know what, since November is a very special month, I was born in November the 14th, and it's just that it's sad to think that so many people choose not to live because of the circumstances that they're in. So this is a really important subject. The way we think is our future. So the reason why I'm a motivational speaker is because people were getting devastated and negative around COVID, right? So I decided, you know what, on top of English and everything and being a teacher of English, I want to be a motivational speaker. So what would you say, just one word or one sentence that could change someone's life completely?
Oh, the one sentence. I would say trust and verify, because our inner thoughts are not always positive. So as they come through you and you put them in these different categories, as I said earlier, don't take action immediately. Sleep on them for a day, because especially with the negative thoughts, you need to understand the source of the inner thought. So you go a step backward where you ask yourself why that thought took place. Why am I thinking about it? So in one sentence, I would say trust, but then verify it. Give it a little bit of time before you can actually supercharge it and bring it to reality. So for anyone out there who's listening, if you are having a tough day, you are so powerful that you can talk yourself out of any negative thoughts. You are a creator of these thoughts. Therefore, you are in complete charge to change your life for the better. And this is what I wanted to share with the audience, that not everything that comes to mind, it's worth giving it time. You have to be selective and trust your instinct, trust your gut feeling, as they say, and just follow that. But always for the positives. For the negatives, put a stop. And you know when you're thinking negative thoughts, you really know as a creator of them. So you just stop them, eliminate them completely, and just lead your life in positivity.
You've always got to filter. You have to have a filter in your mind. You have to know what's good and what's bad, because most of the time, even people who are being successful, this is one of my favorite quotes ever. And it's because, most of the time when people start to talk about you, whether it's in a bad way or it's a good way, when you're at the top, you become the topic. So when people see you rising and doing great things and they start to bully you and say something bad, it's because they're thinking about you. It's because they know you're at the top. So you're the topic. So most of the time people just, they tend to really take in a lot of thoughts. But what I tend to do is when you get into that negative hole of yours and when you see that, it's very hard to go through life. But the thing is, with people who say that, life is so happy, why are you so sad? It's like telling a kid who has asthma, there's a lot of air, why can't you breathe? So that's the difference of when it comes to trying to make a difference, it all starts in here. All right, so you need to find a way to change your inner thoughts, and your inner thoughts are really important. So an inner thought that comes to mind is, how do I motivate myself? So what motivates you to be the Migena that we see today?
My family, my why. Everyone needs to know their whys in life, because we don't live for ourselves. We live the best possible life. So everyone that's important in our life and that's not important in our life, even for everyone that we don't even know, we need to be the best versions of ourselves. So what motivates me on a daily basis is that how I show up is very important, because just showing up, it's not enough. How we show up, how many lives we change with our actions, but that goes back to our thoughts, because the moment you wake up, you have the ability and the power to change how you feel that day. you can elevate yourself, and you need to motivate yourself on a daily basis, because when you look around and you start counting your blessings, and you have so many reasons not just to exist, but to thrive, then motivation comes just like that. It's very easy once you know what you are living for. Who are you living for? Why are you on this earth? What's your purpose? What's your why? And once you have those answers, then it's easier to get motivated. And even if you don't have a motivation, start one day at a time by asking yourself, if I don't win today, how many people are going to lose? If I don't take action today, how many people will miss out on opportunities? If you don't smile to the person that's in front of you, regardless of who they are in your life, you don't even know that could have been the first smile in years for them. So that motivates me. Like anything and everything that I can do to change someone else's day, that's a motivation now for me. I I take the subway to go in Manhattan from the Bronx, where I live. And I always say hello to the train conductor. Like I just wave or I nod, I acknowledge them and I smile, and I receive a smile back. And it makes me so happy. Like it's a big motivator, because I already sent a positive energy in someone else's life that doesn't even know my name, and I don't know their name either. But there's so many reasons to be motivated for. But we can all start with one, and it goes back to an inner thought. Start thinking, provoke yourself, and you'd be surprised with the answers.
Boom. So for me, a lot of times people, they search for motivation, but when they search for it, they search for like achievements, outer achievements. That's why most people like to hang out with a crowd so they can get achievements for doing what everyone does. But most of the time, you don't really want to do what everyone does, because the famous question, if your friends were to jump off a cliff, were you to do it so? So that's a really intriguing question, because most people would, even though they don't know it, but they're so stuck to peer pressure that they would do it. So for me, your inner thoughts and just defining them is really creating and molding your personality. Because when you know how you think and how you're going to act and react, you know who you are. And when you know who you are, you don't need a group of people to tell you what to do and when to do it. So what do you think about that? And have you ever been, when did you fully discover yourself as a person?
Oh, I am in the process of discovering myself on a daily basis. And I pay attention to how I answer the same question. I pay attention to how I analyze a movie that I like and compare it to when I watched it for the first time 10 years ago. I pay attention to when I read the same book over and over, and the way my inner thought starts to dance with one another, to work together, to be in harmony or in conflict, whatever the case may be. It's another indicator that there is yet another thing that I didn't know about myself. Because when I read the book at 20, it's not the same as when I'm reading the book in my 30s. And but honestly, even when I was 7 years old, when I go back in time and I remember myself as a little girl, grabbing my hair brush, pretending it to be a microphone and pretending to interviewing people. And here we are, you and I, today on an interview. I wonder what kind of answers would I have given in my 20s or 5 years ago if you asked me this question. And this is why it's very tough for me to answer the question, when did I really get to know myself. I am having the privilege to get to know myself on a daily basis through my interactions with everyone that I meet. And now I am so international and so blessed because I have connected with people from all over the world, and you are one of my new friends, and I am very grateful for you in my life. And it just fascinates me that the moment, you're very welcome, the moment you think, oh wow, I am this and I am this, you are put into another environment, a different environment than what you used to, and then you're discovering something else about yourself, your level of patience, your level of kindness, your ability to connect or disconnect, to analyze, to help or not to help, and why was I helping so much, why am I measuring that, what's going on. So again, it goes back to that inner thought. So as long as we are alive, in my opinion, for as long as we live, we will continue to be in a journey, in a self journey of getting to know a version of ourselves. And that's the beauty of it, in my opinion, because I could not tell you right now, Mohamed, that in 1999 is when I fully got to know who I was. I cannot tell you that.
It's a journey,
I don't know myself.
Yeah,
it's a journey.
We're all trying to figure out who we are in this life. We're all trying to find that part of our soul and that part of our body and whichever and wherever it is. So in a way, most people try to define themselves using words and using achievements. I am this and I am that. But in reality, we're all just human, and we can all make the change. You can't really put a definition on somebody because humans are ever changing, ever evolving. Related to the story, to the idea of when you read the book when you were 20 and then when you were a kid, and this is a story that I really like. I kind of make up my own stories, but yeah. So there was an old man, and he had a son, and he told him to read a book 5 times throughout his life, like 10 years, or 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. So the kid read it when he was 5. He didn't understand a thing. When he was 10, he understood a bit of it. When he was 15, he understood most of it. When he was 20, he understood all of it. And then when he was 25, he had already understood all of it. And then the father asked, did you get anything out of the book? And he said, no, move on to the next book. So that's the chapters of our life. When you try to do something and you try to get into something and try to learn something, every time you retry it, you learn something new. When you stop learning something new, you've mastered it. Then you move on to something new. Because if you can't learn something new about something, for instance, if you can't learn anything new about your job, well, then your job is either boring to you or you've fully mastered your job. Because most of the time, no matter what the predicaments are, no matter what the circumstances, if you can't produce new information, new knowledge, get out of that place, because you need to be gaining information on a daily basis. So on the last part of our podcast today, unfortunately, this is the fastest 20 minutes of my life, to be honest. It was such an amazing podcast. But what would you tell the people that are watching today, ladies and gentlemen from around the world? What would you tell them? If anything you could tell them, what would you tell them to do right now?
If there's one thing that you can do, is take action, because you are not doing your thoughts and your dreams a favor, but keeping them in the drawers. So if there is a dream that you've had as a little girl or as a little boy, and now you look back and you're an adult, don't come up with excuses, come up with solutions, because as we said earlier, we are the creators of our own thoughts. Therefore, we are the creators of our own actions. Environment doesn't define us. We define environments. People don't make us. We create ourselves. And regardless of who everybody is, and who they are to you. Never, ever lose yourself in the process of anything, in the process of a job, more money, more clients, more podcast interviews. Stay true to yourself, remain true to yourself, because we all are unique. There are no two people alike in the world, and you need to guard that. You are sacred. So take action on your dreams and never, ever look back and come up with excuses. Just come up with solution, and the world will be a much better place, not just for you, but for everyone you care for, and for everyone else that you don't even know. You don't even know who you're impacting. Just like Mohamed is doing right now, he's inviting international human beings to connect in a human level and share our perspectives. And everything I said, it's in my own opinion. Take from this interview what serves you. As Mohamed said, filter it. So take whatever you love, and everything else that doesn't serve you, put to the side. So we're not for everyone, but we are somebody for someone else out there. And I hope I have served even one person in the world. And let's pay it forward. Let's stay positive, and let's help one another and reach out and be the best version of yourself on a daily basis, and enjoy the journey of rediscovery on a daily basis of yourself.
Boom, another explosion yet again. Thank you very much, Miss Migena. Today we had a lovely episode where we talked about our inner selves. Today we just got straight up emotional. So for the people that are watching, stop crying and go ahead to the YouTube and go into the description where you can find Miss Migena's social media. And yeah, hope you're having an amazing day. Check out all the links in the description. Be sure to follow her all around, because you never wanna miss it when she provides. We'll hope we can meet again. And I love doing this just to meet the people. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.